All right, the point of this video is very simple. You're seeing it everywhere, 100x SundaeSwap. So I figured, why don't we just break down and do simple mathematics to really try to get some sort of an idea, and it won't be perfect, but get some sort of an idea of if SundaeSwap can truly 100x. First of all, we're going to start with two comparisons, very simple comparisons. I don't know that there's any better ones to check out, and that is none other than Uniswap, and also we'll do a comparison to PancakeSwap. Then we're going to take a quick look at all the factors that really are going to determine if this coin can truly 100x, such as what's the initial supply, and I do want to say that 2 billion tokens are being minted from the time that the project launches, but that does not mean all 2 billion of those will be in the initial circulating supply. Matter of fact, they will not be, and that is what I'm going to break down. That's going to build the case around what that circulating supply will be, what are the possibilities of where it can go, what is the downward pressure going to be, and those are all factors that are very important. So something I do want to mention is you never can forget about when the team gets their tokens. Will they sell them? We don't know, but they're able to. So that's another point I'm going to point out in today's video. So for starters, since we're trying to figure out where we're headed with SundaeSwap, let's use two good comparisons over here on CoinMarketCap. And we are going to start out with none other than Uniswap. If you saw my other videos, you heard me mention that comparison multiple times, so why not start with that? So here we have it, Uniswap price. We're not worried about the price, but we are going to take a look at market cap and circulating supply. So we've got, for circulating supply, 611.6 million tokens. For the market cap, we've got 15.8, but we'll just say a little under 15.9 billion for the market cap. We don't want to go based off of one. Let's use two. So we might as well use PancakeSwap. So we come over here, once again, not worried about the price. When we get to our circulating supply, 233 million tokens. And for our market cap, we've got 4.67 billion. Or it just changed that quick, 4.68 billion for the market cap of PancakeSwap. So I think these are two good comparisons just to look at in terms of what type of valuations we think are possible. So now that we've done that, let's move on. So as you can see, the site for SundaeSwap still says coming soon, so we don't have the date quite yet. I think that's what everyone is waiting on pins and needles for. But if we want to try to figure out whether it's price or how well it can do, one thing we need to know the supply. And more than just the max supply, the circulating supply really is important. So let's go down here, something I showed on my previous video, but we're going to zoom in on this a little bit more. When we go down here and look at the tokenomics, all right, here's what we got. So as you can see, 55% public, 25% team, investors 13%, future hires 5%, advisors 2%. How nice. Already has the breakdown for us. What we do know, and I'm going to point this out because it's very important that you see this. This is important because this is all about when the team, investors / advisors, when they will get their tokens. When you look at these numbers, and remember it said right here, we know the breakdown already. The team, that's 25% of the tokens, investors 13%, advisors 2%, and future hires. So we already know that 55% is for the public. They're going to mint these tokens right off the bat, but they're not going to all go into the circulating supply. 55% will, but we need to look closer because they do point out 55% of Sunday supply will go to the public, with 5% of total supply distributed to initial stake. Now, that 5%, by the way, it says pool offering, the ISO participants among, now that's across 5 epochs. So that's 1% each epoch. But it's really not necessarily important at the moment, because when you're talking about 1%, I don't think with the growth it's going to be that big of a deal. But the more important point is these tokens are going to come from that 55% for the public. I'm making that assumption because it does say the total supply, but I don't believe that's coming from that 2 billion, which is the total supply. I believe it's coming from the total supply of the public. You know, it says with 5%. So I'm going to say that 50% of the tokens are going to be put out there. And then what that leaves us with, when we take that 5%, that leaves us with 55 million tokens that will be distributed through the ISO, where people stake, and their rewards across those epochs will be 55 million tokens. And if you want to break it down over the 5 epochs, that's 11 million tokens per epoch, right? That's that number that, I'm expecting. So our initial supply for the public is 1.1 billion tokens. With that 5% that is taken out of that at 55 million, that does leave us with 1,045 million tokens. But because I like to err on the side of caution, we're just going to go ahead and use that number of 1.1 billion. So what that tells you is, if we reach a market cap, regardless of how it starts out, if we reach a market cap of 1.1 billion, the price will be at $1. Just so you have an idea, let's use 10 million as our initial liquidity. Let's say the team says, hey, we're putting in 10 million. Well, based off the 1.1 billion tokens, that is going to put us at a price of just under a penny. It's actually going to put us at 0.00909 cent. So not quite at a penny, a ninth of a penny, if the initial liquidity were $10 million. Now at that point, our 100x is when it hits 90 cents. What you have to ask yourself is, and this is knowing that we don't know that initial liquidity, all we can do is wait to see what that's going to be. Do you believe this project can get to $1.1 billion? For me, I certainly do. Do I believe it's going to go on the far end of the spectrum and reach Uniswap in the near future at 15.9 billion? That's a stretch. Depending how long this cycle lasts from here to the end of the bull run, well, we've seen PancakeSwap rise fairly quickly. So that is possible. Now, there are other DEXs that this project has to compete with, but that certainly is more reasonable than Uniswap, which has been around for quite a while, right? Even if it only does half of PancakeSwap, now we're really starting to see where 100x is really possible. As I mentioned, if we start out with 10 million, that 100x is going to come before we even hit $1. The only variable that we need truly is we've got to know what the initial liquidity is going to be. But I just wanted to give you these numbers kind of for some food for thought. Really think about it. If you do see where you see that initial liquidity somewhere, please let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that this project is going to reach Uniswap? Do you think it's going to reach PancakeSwap? How successful do you think SundaeSwap is going to be? Let me know in the comments. What I really want to know in the comments more than anything is, even if you don't want to do the comparison to the other projects, what do you think the market cap will be within the first year? And remember, when we get to that first year, 275 million tokens will be released to the team and to the advisors. So that is 25% downward pressure on that 1.1 billion tokens. Another point is the percentage that goes, and I think it was 5% that will go to new hires. That 5%, they could literally hire people right away and give those all out. So that pressure can come at any time. We don't know. We don't know when they're going to be hiring. So it's only 5%, but it's something to think about. I hope that this information was somewhat helpful to you. I'm extremely excited to see what this initial kind of liquidity is going to be. But the biggest thing is when these projects launch, if you do decide you're going to get into them, the quicker you get in, the more of a chance you have to make those multiples. Obviously, if you get in when the liquidity is 50 million or 100 million, well, your chances of getting that 100x diminish. So the quicker that you get in, the faster. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Before you invest in anything, please seek the help of a professional. The market is too good right now to get wrecked. We are going to have fun the remainder of this year. If you like the content I put out, please consider hitting the bell for notification so you can catch the new content that I drop. I've got a video coming out next on the parachains, and it will be number 3 in the 5-part series. Make sure to do me a favor. Please smash the like button. It really does help the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you next time.